and welcome to Quilt Addicts Anonymous. I'm Stephanie Soebbing. We've got some brand new arrivals of some modern quilting fabric that are just absolutely stunning to share with you today. We have two new collections from Northcott, and I think you're gonna love them. We're gonna get straight in with Wild. This one is from Brett Lewis for Natural Born Quilter for Northcott. It's really pretty. It's my favorite color scheme of all time with those rich blues and teals, so you know I'm gonna love it. But it's interesting because it has like the wild prints, like we can see really clearly here that we have kind of the outline of a bear, and it looks like kind of a mountain range with trees and stuff inside of him. Same thing with the wolf and the trout, but there also are things like sewing spools in there randomly. And so I think it's really cool. This is definitely one that I feel like you would make for you or for a quilting friend. Maybe they would appreciate this if you're looking for holiday gifts. But it is really stunning, and it almost is Tula-esque, like when she comes out with her sewing lines, and like it's one thing, but it also is something else. So I really like it. And in addition to the teals and blues and greens, we're also going to have some of these beautiful fuchsias in here. This is one of the showstopper prints that is in the collection, and it is really, really pretty. And you can see that there's kind of mirror image situation going on here. It kind of stops though here because like the bears aren't going, the bears are always going this way. But it is really, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous line. Like when I was rolling it through from the warehouse to the video studio, everyone was like, ooh, what's that? And so it's a really cool from a visual standpoint with those colors. Next up, we have all these fern leaves and wild berries and flowers that you would find out in the woods if you're going for a hike. And then again, we have our little spools just kind of floating around there. So if you are a fan of nature and a fan of sewing, this could totally be for you. This one is more of a blender situation. It's definitely meant to be more on a basic, and I love it when they make basics that coordinate with the collection that you don't have to find like the perfect blue or the perfect green. It just is here. And so you can put that next to one of the showstopper prints like that big bear one. And then the focus is going to be drawn at the big bear, because it's two colors, technically three colors, I think. I think there's two different shades of green in there, but it really is not a lot going on in it. So it just kind of supports without taking away from what you want to focus on. This one is really pretty. It's like a quilt medallion centerpiece, and it has all the colors that you're going to see within the collection. So it really ties that all together. We're going to see this again in another colorway later. Here we have some more wildflowers. This one again does a good job of incorporating all the colors within the collection. And even though it's busier when you look at it, because the scale is smaller, it still is going to do the job of helping you focus on those bigger, bolder prints that we want to show off, like the big bear. Here's that medallion print again. This one is more of a teal colorway with some nice green accenting that. I love these color combinations. It just makes my heart happy. Here's that big bold print again with the bears, this time a little bit lighter blue background, so it does look a little bit different. Here's that fern and wild berry print again with the spools of thread, and it is that lighter blue background doesn't make it quite as moody, but it still is really pretty. Here's that fern print again. I really like it in this one. Actually, I think it might be pine needles. I think it might be like some sort of evergreen branch thing, but it looks really, it's a great like supporting player in this collection. Here we have our wildflowers again. This time they really pop because that pink is on the opposite end of the color spectrum as the green. So it really pops out of there. It looks like a bed of flowers. It's really pretty. Here we have the wildflowers again, but on a little bit bigger scale. So it definitely makes it look a little less busy. I think this might be my favorite of the medallion prints. That really deep fuchsia purple looks so good against that green. And we're going to wrap it up with a fuchsia version of those flowers. So that is Wild by Natural Born Quilter, Brett Lewis for Northcott. We've got the fat quarter bundles, we have yardage, we have a backing fabric. So if you're thinking of a twin quilt, about 2 yards of this will be enough for you as long as your quilt is under 62 inches wide. If you're thinking about a queen or king, you can go up to 98 inches square with 3 yards. So it's a great way to economically back your quilts, and there's no piecing involved, which is great. We also have some 10-inch squares for this one. We don't always get those, but we happen to have it this time. We've got some great layer cake patterns that you can check out and grab some background to go with that. Super fun, and I feel like I need to notate because I know everybody is anticipating there being a Black Friday sale. And there will be a Black Friday sale, but we never put anything that has just arrived on sale for Black Friday. So there's no incentive to wait. It's not going to be a lesser price in a month. So if you like this and you want to grab it, go ahead and do it now. I promise you, we are not going to drop the price on this in a month. It's going to be the same price that it is today. So go check it out, and we're going to take a peek at one more collection next. So my husband does a lot of our fulfillment here. So he's the one who cut and prepped all these for me in order to show them off to you today. He thought I needed this one behind me today. He thinks that this is the prettier of the two lines. It is really entertaining when your husbands start to have opinions on fabric, but he definitely does now. This one is called Dragonfly Dreams by Deborah Edwards. It is really gorgeous, really pretty, and it is really fabulous, rich pink and kind of fuchsia purples. We had a line from her last year, I believe, and it did really well too. People really loved it and it went pretty fast. So we're going to take a peek at it here. So there are two prints in the line that have a half yard repeat. And so we're going to give you the full half yard because they are an ombre fabric. It is so pretty. This one is absolutely gorgeous. And so you're going to get the full repeat from side to side and also up and down, so you can plan what you want to do with it. There is a little bit of yardage left for this after we cut the bundles. But if you get a bundle, you're going to get fat quarters of everything except these two prints and then a half yard of this. So you have the whole thing. But if you really like it, you want to use it for borders or something special, just hurry up and go grab it because I think there's only like 2 or so yards left after we have cut for bundles. This one is also one of those ombres where we're going to give you the whole half yard in the bundle. It starts off really light pink pebbles and then it just gets deeper and deeper in the color as it goes on, ending with some really deep purples and magentas and almost black in there. It is absolutely stunning. I could 100% see this as one of the skirts that we're doing, and instead of cutting it like on the grain this way, you would just cut it this way so it can just get darker and darker as it goes on. I think that would be absolutely gorgeous. And Northcott is great. It's a little bit heavier material as far as the substrate goes, but the drape is good enough to where you could do this as a skirt and it would be okay. So I think that would be an excellent use of this one if you want to go grab a couple yards. I'm zooming in quite a bit for this one so that the camera can pick up the crackle that is created. It's called Dragonfly, so these look like dragonfly wings with the crackle effect of the white on white. This is something, we only got 8-yard bolts of this, and so if you want a background, just go buy all of this that's left. It is absolutely fantastic, and it will coordinate with the line. Of course, any white or light pink or anything like that will do, but this is really, really pretty too. This one is really gorgeous. I love the swirls, and it does look very like natural mosaic to me. The color palette on this is just amazing. Here we have our dragonflies. We're going to see this print a couple of times. This one is kind of in a dusty rose, and it looks like it has settled on a little flower there. It's really sweet. Here's that same print that we saw just a little bit ago with the really jewel tone colors. This one is more dusty. It's a lot of taupes, but a lot of pink in there too. It looks really gorgeous. Here's that dragonfly print again. This one is more of a pink purple. It's really pretty. This one reminds me a lot of the previous collection that we had from Deborah Edwards, and that was just so gorgeous and everyone couldn't get enough of. It looks like watercolor circles that are just kind of like melding into each other, and the color is just absolutely stunning and vibrant. Here we have the little puff flowers. This also looks like it was almost done in like a really vibrant watercolor. We also have this print as a 108-inch wide back, so you can get that to coordinate. Again, 2 yards is usually good for a twin, 3 for a queen or a king. Here's that mosaic print again, this time in a kind of peachy pink background. We're back to that dusty pink, and this is more that pebble look again. It really looks cool, and once I get everything out, I'm going to arrange it in color order, and you can kind of see the color stories, and they would like total make sense together. It would be fabulous. So this is the same print that was used for that white on white background that I showed you, but this time the white is the like crackle of the dragonfly wing, and I just love the mottled pink in the background. It's so pretty. This one is more on that peachy orange color range as well. I just think it's so pretty and the color range is so gorgeous. This might be one of my favorites of the collection. This really deep purple and pink and magenta is just really speaking to me, and I love it, especially if we put it near this one. This just goes to show you how coloring can really change the look of the print, because this is the exact same one as the one we just looked at, just this one is more medium pink, kind of a cotton candy elements in part of it, even a little yellow in there. But it's still stunning in its own way, but it just looks very different than the one we just peeked at. All right, so there we have Dragonfly Dreams by Deborah Edwards. We have some fat quarter bundles, we have yardage, we have a wide back that will coordinate with it, and we have the 10-inch packs, which are generally called layer cakes, but not technically if you know the whole mode of copyright terminology, but we won't get into that here. But all really gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. This is my husband's favorite of the new arrivals that we have for this week, and I agree, it is absolutely stunning. But this one's my favorite colorway, so that's why that got in the background. But again, we are having a Black Friday sale, but none of this is going to be included in it. We never put any of the new arrivals in it, so there's no advantage to waiting, except that your favorite print might be sold out by the time you decide you want to go for it. So if you like this, go ahead and grab some, and we will see you next time with a new quilting tutorial. Until next time, happy quilting!